we go. Welcome back. It's Stefania Barr from Shrink the Giant, and we're going to talk about Shrink the Giant. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Great job. You're doing great.
Oh, thanks.
You're good at what you do.
Fun.
I can tell you're having a great time.
Yeah.
I say all the time on this program how much I love doing what I do. So I like the phrase, it takes one to know one, and it seems like you're having about as much fun as I am.
I love it. It's my passion.
That's great. So you mentioned, just as we were coming on air, your background in classical piano. Talk about going from that discipline, capital D, of what it takes to be a classical musician, the training, the practice, and how that affects what you do now and how you got to be a pop musician.
Well, basically, I mean, as you said, I started my classical piano training when I was 5 years old.
Right.
And that involved a lot of, you know, the rigorous, disciplined training and theory learning and all that. But my teacher was amazing in that he taught me how to write music and how to improvise, and so he gave me a good balance of discipline as well as more loosey-goosey type stuff. So when I met Aaron, well, I kind of knew him from high school, but Aaron and I basically came together in 2010 under the direction of our manager, Jean-Marc, as somewhat of a whimsical experiment to see what would happen when a classical pianist got together with a metal guitarist and tried to write songs together. Aaron is completely self-taught. He started out on the bass, and so, you know, here I am with all my theory training and everything, and here he is just knowing how to rock out.
Just rocking out.
And so it was a really cool experiment in seeing what would happen. So obviously, just as two musicians, and we're both multi-instrumentalists, so we went right into the studio and started writing and recording, and we did it all ourselves, all of our engineering. And so that was a really amazing process, just to learn all of that. And we released our full-length album on May 15th of last year, and it's been incredible to see the response that's happened. So, I mean, we got a worldwide response. We've sold our albums in over 20 countries, as well as a local response. And it really is so cool to see how the locals just step up and embrace you, and they want to help you, and they want to be a part of what you're doing, and it's amazing.
Kind of feels like Salt Lake and Park City and Camas and Oakley and all of those areas, in some ways, is really the perfect size, because sometimes in bigger markets it's really difficult, and in markets, if Park City was just on its own and just a small town of 10,000, there wouldn't kind of be enough critical mass. But it seems like I hear this theme again and again from so many musicians. My buddies Holy Water Buffalo, who, of course, same kind of thing. They're so great, and they have such a loyal following, and it's great to know not only that that's here for you guys, but talk a little bit about that, what that international feedback is like. Where are the buyers coming from, and what is it that they connect to in your music?
Well, our biggest fan base outside of the United States is in Turkey, and our second biggest market is in Germany. And it's been really, like, it just blows my mind to see these people connect with us online. And, you know, one of our biggest things right from the start was we don't want to be one of those bands that just kind of looks down on their fans, and, you know, we want an interpersonal connection, and that's what I feel we've gained with all of these international fans. They're our friends. Like, we interact with them online all the time, and you know, the feedback we get from these kids, it's amazing. It's really cool. But on a local level, what you were saying is exactly true. I feel like since we have so many smaller areas all around, when we say we're local to all the areas, the Utah Valley area and the Salt Lake area and the Park City area and, you know, Oakley, Camas. And that's just, it's really cool to me that we're all helping each other out. We've been able to put our CDs in so many local areas, little boutiques and shops that are found at the market here in Park City. And speaking of that, if anybody has a boutique or shop and you would like to sell Shrink the Giant CDs, send us a message on Facebook. We'd be happy to help you guys out, and it helps everyone out.
Very cool. Well, and I will point out, and we'll do the shameless product placement here. We'll get the ISO, because not only does Shrink the Giant have great artwork on the cover, but look, they've also engineered point-of-sale materials. I mean, not everybody's thinking of that.
Those are handmade boxes, too.
I never would have known. I thought that these would have been made by some of the finest mass production machines anywhere available.
We try to be very raw in everything. We actually, when we send our CDs out overseas or just to areas where we can't hand deliver, because we do love to hand deliver CDs,
right.
Anyone who asks for one, but we always hand make the box out of recyclable materials and recycled materials, and the CDs themselves were completely made out of recycled materials with soy-based inks and everything. So we try to be conscious and friendly and thoughtful, but still playful and music-centered.
Well, and if you're not right there with all of that stuff in 2013, you're kind of behind. So
exactly.
Good for you for being conscious of all of that. Tell folks where they can find out more about the band online.
You can always find out more about the band on Facebook. That's our biggest thing right now. Twitter as well, and YouTube. We've been working on some music videos, so those will be coming up very soon on our YouTube channel. And
what about shows for the summer?
Shows for the summer, we have a few scheduled, nothing set in stone, so I wouldn't want to announce anything. But this is going to be a great summer for Shrink the Giant. It's going to be really exciting. So stay in tune with us on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll keep you updated.
And reach out to Shrink the Giant, right?
Definitely.
Stefania, thanks.
Thank you
Nice
so much,
to meet
Gary.
you. Great job. Keep it up. Best wishes.
Thanks.
We'll be back with more right after this commercial break here on Mountain Views on Park City Television. More Shrink the Giant. Don't go anywhere.